Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
We're going to start with the team that somehow is 7-4 through all. That's such a bad way to transition in, but there's been, there's broken bones. It feels like what should be broken morale, and yet this team continues to find ways to win. Yeah, it wasn't great on Sunday. That wasn't fun to watch at all, but it's one of those Twilight Zone places for the Browns, Jay. I don't know what it is. You go to Pittsburgh, you go to Denver. For the Browns, it's some sort of Twilight Zone where no matter how good the season might be going.
That's for a lot of teams, but us specifically. Yeah, I hate that place. I can't stand it.
Can we stop going down 14-0?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Instead of like I get it. You guys are kind of, you're trying to become the new Cardiac Kids. Like there's never going to be the new Cardiac Kids. You got to find a different name because that is owned by the 80s teams. But at some point, you're not going to be able to come back. When you go down by 2 scores each time, especially on the road, you're not going to be able to come back.
And that's exactly what happened last weekend.
Exactly what happened. And now we might be on our 4th quarterback. What you said you didn't want to see, you might have to see on Sunday, Jay. How are you feeling right now that you might actually see I'm sure there's videos on Twitter for whoever beat reporters are out in L.A. right now with the team. They went from Denver to L.A. I'm sure that there's been some brown and orange or the orange jerseys on Joe Flacco, but it won't really sink in until you see the actual Browns uniform on him. How are you feeling right now? That is a huge possibility you're going to see.
You're talking about the Twilight Zone. I feel like I'm still in it. Like, is Joe Flacco's my quarterback? Like, are you serious? Like, what happened here? Like, what is going on?
I don't know.
Hey, if dude comes out and does great, sweet, awesome. Go Joe Flacco. Like, and everyone's like, oh, he sucked with the Jets. Well, yeah, everyone's going to suck with the Jets. Like, Aaron Rodgers got hurt in his first 4 plays and was, like, hit in every first 4 plays. That team is terrible. And at least their offensive line is garbage.
They say Cleveland's where quarterbacks go to die, but, you could say the same thing about the Jets.
There's too. Dude, the Jets, Chicago Bears, there's a lot of teams.
Again, it's always made out to be just us, but there
know.
are plenty of organizations that are in the same boat. And sometimes I think we even get blinded by how much crap we've gone through to see, there are other organizations that do go through this. It doesn't make it any better, but it just sucks.
And they do that to a lot of stuff to us. Like, I feel like that is different than other teams. Like, remember when we won the last 2 games against the Steelers and the Ravens? We get that's their Super Bowl. I'm like, dude, are we just not allowed to celebrate? Like, what are we supposed to be like? Yay, good win. On to the next one, and just be not happy about it.
No, we're not
sports.
Bill Belichick.
Yeah, I'm not the coach. I'm allowed to have fun.
Yeah, fans are allowed to have fun and
look. People are weird to Browns fans.
They kind of look like, Transformers movie or Fast and Furious movie. Things just blowing up all over their freaking place.
Oh, my God. Yeah, these injuries are just piling up, Kevin. How many more can we withstand and keep winning?
Well, and let's say Joe Flacco does start.
That's why I need Goddle.
It's going to be very tough.
He can answer these questions before they even happen. I need my Goddle. Boom.
Yeah.
All right, this is how
sometimes
the
element of surprise is sometimes nice in human nature, but not always.
Yeah.
DTR, I have a hard time believing he's going to be able to clear concussion protocol. It's not that it hasn't happened. Boy, he got lit up on that play. And look, guys that try to come back within 1 week's time out of a concussion.
Doesn't really happen.
If you're young like DTR, it can happen. But it's I don't know, I'm starting to think of things not just as a parent, but also as a coach and all of the training that I had when I was coaching and how much more information we have about concussions now and what we don't know about them, especially with brain injuries. I would rather the guy come back. You cannot play this amount of weeks when you have a concussion. If you set that, and I thought that that's what was in place, but I guess not. The protocol is what it is. I'm not going to try to break it down for you here on the Voice of the Land. It feels like we've lived through maybe 2 seasons at this point, and we still got 6 games left.
Oh, And every game is a nail biter from like start to end. Yeah, this
What's going to
season,
happen these last 6 games?
I think they can go either 3-3 or 4-2. To be honest, record-wise, yeah.
Where do you think
Just
those-
because I don't think a lot of the teams are all that tough. And if like the toughest team would have been the Bengals, but Joe Burrow's gone, they're not going to be very hard.
I think the toughest team right now is Houston.
Yeah,
Probably.
for sure, it definitely.
I
is.
mean, if Aaron Rodgers comes back, that
no, I don't care.
I don't think he's going to come back.
He was at
I mean, what are
practice
they?
today.
What are they?
That's kind of crazy.
They're 4
well,
and
he's in
7.
that 21-day window now where he can be activated from the IR list. So he's at practice on a very. When they say limited, his limited is like even more even below that. I think.
Yeah, but they're what 4 and 7. So unless they somehow win,
And he just told Pat McAfee the other day, like, we have to be in it for me to come back.
yeah, there's no
He
point. for
only
them to come
cares
back
if they're going to
not
be
in
able to
it.
win.
He
something.
only cares if he's on TV.
Yeah. So, and we're saying his name like he's kept himself relevant this season, even though he's got an injury that most people take a year to come back from. I know Cam Akers
All I know is when I injured
was able to
mine,
come back.
I couldn't play. It took him and his wife to stop me from trying to pinch hit in the playoffs. I was trying to pull. Well, actually, Aaron Rodgers was trying to pull an APJ because I definitely wanted to. As soon as I got my boot off, it was like 2 weeks later. I'm like, can I just go? I need a bat. I can't let this dude who does never bat before bat. I'm like, I need a bat. And they're like, no. I'm like, I could do it. I could be fine. I'll just walk to first. I don't need to get. I just need to hit it way to the outfield. And yeah, they wouldn't let me.
Yeah. And again, the Achilles injury, I mean, if you want to put yourself in that kind of position, he's trying, and by them doing
I
that
think he's
today,
nuts.
he's actually on track for what he wanted to do. He wanted to come back by Christmas Eve, but for their Christmas Eve game. But if they're not in it, is he actually going to play? Because again, he told Pat McAfee yesterday that, look, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come back and play. Like, he's trying to walk it back. Either he's doing that because
It's like he's trying to say that he's coming back, but then walk it back in the same interview, just so we're doing what we're doing.
well, and he's either giving you all you want right now that
Regardless,
I don't think this team
I think
is
we
gonna go
destroy
anywhere.
I think we're going to beat
So,
the Jets.
Jets, like that's a game that you should win. If it's Tim Boyle that's playing quarterback, I mean, we need to. It doesn't matter if Miles is in there or not. You need to be lighting that guy up. This week, I know it's another team kind of like the Broncos, and you're on the road. The only difference is, are there truly L.A. Rams fans? Like, I know that there were St. Louis Rams fans.
Yeah.
And that indoor facility would
There's
be
going to be a
rocking.
bunch of Browns fans.
There's going to be a bunch of Browns fans because, like, you hear opposing teams' fans, whether it's the Chargers and the Rams in SoFi Stadium, more than you hear their fans.
Like,
Then
I
it's just the
literally, I
stars that
know
get their
people, like, this is nuts.
front
I
row
know
seat.
people at Sunday, they flew out to Denver
Mm-hmm.
to go to that game. They stayed a few days in Denver. Then they flew out to L.A., and now they're going to the game in L.A. I'm like, man, you guys got it good. I wish I
they
could do
work?
it. Yeah, it's just their vacation.
I mean, they timed it up well.
Yeah.
I mean, I always question how I see the same 5 people in the front row of WWE events. Every time I'm watching on TV, right along the barricade, it's the same people. Like, do you work? Like, how are you traveling all around
They
the
don't
country?
work. They don't work, Kevin.
they're-
They're very rich, and they don't work anymore.
Yeah. I mean, and they're probably those streamers and stuff like that, like digital content type creators. We did a great job talking Browns this segment, guys.
No, we didn't.
No, I mean, it's so hard to talk about because it's like we're in a great position at 7-4 through 11 games, and yet I don't know. It's so hard to. I said at the beginning of the season, this team had to prove it to me. Well, they're doing a lot to overcome adversity to prove things to me, and yet I'm still having a hard time crossing that line to be like really excited, just because like we
It's
always
your
waited
realistic
for that.
expectations is what's happened to you because you feel like this team is, if we're being real, this team is on the brink of just falling apart because it literally is falling apart. Like there's just
Yeah.
injuries. That's just hard for any team, the greatest teams, to overcome. We're still doing it, which is nice, but it's like, how long is this going to last? And I feel like you probably agree with me is we're both so proud of what they're doing. Like they're proving that they are a real team. This is a real team, and if they could keep overcoming this is gonna, like I said before, it's gonna be stuff. I think,
Galvanize.
it's gonna be stuff they fall back on
Yeah.
in later seasons. Like it's this season, it'll be more for the future seasons than we're realizing right now.
Yeah, and I think we'll see it if we see a culture maybe established. Stefanski's around and major part of this coaching staff's around for a while. They get extensions and stuff. Like we'll be able to be like hindsight's always 2020. Like how much.
What did you
This
think of his
impact.
play calling last week?
Not
Because
great.
I got people like were really like saying I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to football because they're loading the box and you can't run. So why would you call pass plays? I'm like, well, the pass plays weren't working against a run defense apparently at first. So why don't you call run play and just say you're going to stop this? No, you're not. We're going to do it anyways. That's what I'm about.
And again, that's why like I can't be 100%. I'm not saying I'm not like behind Kevin Stefanski, but I'm not like 100%. He needs a contract extension. It's because even with all the adversity and how much great stuff he has done this year to keep this team going and in a position to contend for the playoffs and more this season, he still has those moments where we're overthinking it or thinking that we're smarter than everybody else and trying to do too much instead of keeping it simple. KISS, the KISS method. That's what my physics teacher always told us. Keep it simple, stupid.
I heard you on the radio earlier, and they were talking about grading Stefanski. How I grade Stefanski is Stefanski, there's the coach, and there's Stefanski, the play caller. Stefanski, the coach, 95 out of 100. Fantastic job this year. Like, can't say enough. Stefanski, the play caller, I'm still giving you like a 70, and that's
Go
being
75.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm being nice. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I probably want to go D because you call a lot of bad plays.
Like the
At the
reverse.
Dude, that was terrible. You just put a guy in who hasn't played all game. Hey, I got an idea. Let's do a double reverse when
This'll
I got
catch
to
'em
run.
off.
Here's what drives me nuts. We're
We're going to catch the opponents off guard. Oh, crap.
We
I
caught ourselves
my,
off
I
guard.
caught my own team off guard. What did I just do?
Here's what drives me nuts. All right, we're an analytically driven team, correct? So it's all about math. All right, so if you're playing the worst run defense and you are one of the best run offense, the math tells you run the ball. If your running back is averaging over 7 yards a gain, if you give it to him twice, you're going to get a first down. The math tells you that. Their math is not adding up. It's not making sense to me. What are they doing? It's driving me insane. And all right, so it's a football call they're making,
Yeah.
Kevin. So you're telling me you're going to put a rookie quarterback in a position to have to win, like start this game off, get it going, passing the ball in a hostile environment when you have a running back that could gash this team for runs. It doesn't make any sense to me. And please don't tell me that there's 9 or 8 in the box, because Adrian Peterson ran against that his whole career. Like, he never had a quarterback, and he did pretty damn good. Sorry, had to get that off my chest.
I mean,
Forgot all about that rant. I've been holding it and then released.
for a team that's supposed to be, I don't want to say like only driven by analytics, but they're trying to use analytics, use the information, what they talk about to fuel decisions. There's times where it feels like the analytics and the football decisions are like two magnets when you're trying to put them together, and the same, the poles can't get them to touch, that type of thing. They're going away from each other. They want to go away from each other because they can't coexist. And that's not what you want. But for the most part, they've kept most of it together, being 7-4. We're Cleveland fans. We're always waiting for that next shoe to drop. I'm wondering how many shoes are going to drop this year, and how many are just going to come out of
Shooter
nowhere.
drop. Someone's dropped like 5 or 6, and I just feel like I'm like holding all these shoes in my arm. Like,
In honor of the return of Randy Orton to WWE television this week, I feel like I've been RKO'd out of nowhere many, many times this season.